Ladies and gentlemen, imagine for a moment that you hold in your hand the key to unlimited abundance. It is not forged of metal, nor is it hidden in a vault. It exists first in the realm of thought. Every desire, every longing for prosperity is the seed of a future miracle. To win the lottery is not merely a matter of chance, it is the harmonious alignment of your inner vision with the infinite supply of the universe. Many wander through life hoping for sudden fortune, unaware that the law of prosperity has been speaking to them all along. This law is simple, unchanging, and omnipresent. What you imagine, you can claim, provided you do so with faith, gratitude, and unwavering expectancy. When you close your eyes and see yourself holding the prize you desire, you are not merely dreaming, you are participating in the creative act. The universe responds not to your fear or doubt, but to the certainty of your expectation. Ask yourself, do I truly believe that abundance belongs to me? Am I willing to receive it graciously? For the moment you answer with conviction, a stream of divine intelligence begins to arrange unseen events to bring your desire into form. Winning the lottery is less about the numbers on a slip of paper, and more about the numberless possibilities orchestrated by your own thought. It is essential to release all anxiety and struggle. The mind that frets and doubts closes the channels through which blessings flow. Instead, speak in the affirmative. I am in perfect harmony with the supply of the universe. Fortune comes to me in the right way, at the right time, and through the perfect channels. Words are not idle. They are forces of creation. As you affirm the reality of your wish, the world begins to conform to the shape of your inner vision. Every ticket purchased, every opportunity noticed, becomes a step along the path already laid out by divine intelligence. Gratitude is the magnet that draws the invisible into the visible. Give thanks as though the prize is already yours. Feel the joy, the relief, the freedom that would come from the win, and let that feeling saturate your being. The outer world responds to inner consciousness. The more alive and vivid you're feeling, the quicker the manifestation. Doubt and fear are thieves. They rob you of the treasures already reserved for you. Faith, on the other hand, opens the gates to miracles and turns ordinary circumstances into extraordinary outcomes. Remember, the universe never hurries, but it always delivers. Your role is to think rightly, act rightly, and speak rightly, letting go of worry and trusting the divine orchestration of life. Through this alignment of thought, word, and feeling, the lottery becomes not a game of chance, but a game of law. A law that works unfailingly for the one who knows how to call it forth. The right way to win is not through luck, but through understanding, faith, and the conscious use of creative power. Every human being carries within the mind a creative power so vast, so limitless, that it surpasses anything that can be imagined in the material world. This power, your own thought, is the seed of every circumstance, every fortune, every event that manifests in your life. The first principle to understand is that nothing happens by chance. There is no such thing as luck or misfortune in the absolute sense. Everything is the result of the invisible laws working through your own consciousness. To master the art of winning, to achieve abundance, one must first understand that the world without is but a mirror of the world within. Whatever you hold in your imagination with vividness, faith, and certainty will sooner or later take form in your outer life. Abundance is not something to be pursued through frantic effort or anxious expectation. It is not secured through worry, calculation, or the accumulation of things, for these are only reflections of a mind not yet attuned to the invisible currents of supply. True abundance comes when the mind is consciously directed, when you deliberately choose to hold a vision of prosperity and let it take root in your consciousness. Visualizing abundance is more than daydreaming. It is an act of creation. When you see yourself in possession of wealth, not as a wish or a hope, but as an established fact, you are speaking to the law that governs all things. The invisible mind hears the voice of your certainty, and through perfect law brings circumstances into alignment with your belief. The mind is not a passive instrument. Every thought, every picture, every mental image you entertain is a statement to the universe of what you expect to see in your life. If you dwell upon lack, limitation, or fear, The universe, in its absolute impartiality, obeys and manifests that which you have pictured. Conversely, when you cultivate a vision of success, of plenty, and of joy, the law responds accordingly. There is a rhythm to this process, a divine intelligence that never makes mistakes. The first step, therefore, is to recognize that your thoughts are the invisible architects of your life. They are the builders of your reality, constructing carefully, brick by brick, the circumstances that will eventually appear before you. Visualizing abundance with certainty requires that you go beyond mere mental images. It demands a full alignment of feeling, belief, and imagination. Picture not only the material form of the abundance you desire, whether it be money, property, or opportunity, but also the sensation of having already received it. Feel the relief, the gratitude, the freedom that comes from knowing that your needs are fully supplied. Let your mind dwell on these feelings with unwavering attention. Do not allow doubt to intrude, for doubt is the silent enemy of manifestation. When your mind is clear, your vision strong, and your faith unwavering, the invisible forces begin to move in perfect harmony with your inner picture. Many fail to recognize the subtlety of this law. They imagine abundance for a moment, only to revert to fear and scarcity. The mind that vacillates cannot command the forces of creation. It is only when thought is steady, confident, and unwavering that the law responds. This is why repeated, deliberate visualization is essential. Daily, if not hourly, take the time to see yourself already in possession of your desire. Speak the reality silently or aloud, affirm it as fact, and nurture the feelings that accompany that reality. The more you saturate your consciousness with the certainty of your vision, the faster and more harmoniously it will manifest. It is not necessary to know the how, the when, or the where. The law works beyond your comprehension. Your role is only to hold the picture and maintain faith. There is a divine intelligence that orchestrates all things in perfect sequence. By focusing your thought and holding it with unwavering certainty, you are sending an order to this intelligence. Your mind acts like a magnet, drawing the invisible into the visible, arranging circumstances, events, and opportunities in alignment with the picture you have painted. It is not magic, it is law, as exact and dependable as gravity and as merciful as the sunshine. Visualization is not idle imagination, but a practical application of a universal principle. The most effective practice is to imagine yourself living in the reality you desire. See the money, see the lottery win, see the doors opening effortlessly, and feel the joy that accompanies it. Speak affirmations in the present tense, reinforcing your certainty. I am in perfect harmony with the infinite supply. All that I desire flows easily and abundantly into my life. As you hold these thoughts with conviction, you are not only preparing your own mind to recognize and accept opportunities, but also signaling to the invisible forces that you are ready to receive. Every thought repeated with faith becomes a law in action. When you visualize abundance with certainty, the law does not fail. Circumstances, often unnoticed at first, begin to shift. You may meet people, discover opportunities, or receive ideas that align perfectly with the realization of your desire. The universe is always responsive. It does not ignore the insistence of a mind fully committed to a definite vision. What appears as luck or coincidence is merely the outer expression of this inner certainty. It is vital to guard the mind against contradictions. A mind that says, "I wish I could be prosperous," while secretly fearing lack, creates confusion in the invisible realm. The law cannot act upon wishy-washy thought. It responds to clarity, conviction, and certainty. Therefore, to visualize abundance effectively, you must believe it is already yours. Act as if the manifestation has already occurred. Feel it, speak it, and live it within your consciousness. By doing so, you align yourself with the invisible currents of abundance, and the law begins to manifest your vision in perfect sequence. Faith is the invisible bridge between the desire in your heart and its manifestation in the material world. Without faith, no matter how fervent your wish or how elaborate your visualization, the law of abundance cannot find its full expression. Expectancy, the unwavering confidence that what you have asked for is already on its way, is the companion of faith. Together, they form a dynamic power that sets in motion forces unseen, aligning the currents of life so that prosperity flows naturally and effortlessly. The mind that holds firm to faith does not argue with appearances, does not tremble before lack, and does not falter at the seeming impossibility of its desire. Instead, it knows with inner certainty that the law is impartial and unchanging, and that every good thing that has been spoken of, thought of, or imagined with faith will inevitably be delivered. Expectancy is not a passive state. It is a vibrant, living condition of consciousness. It is more than wishing or hoping. It is a deep, unshakable conviction that the universe is working on your behalf. When you expect prosperity, the very vibrations of your thought, word, and feeling harmonize with the invisible forces, and doors begin to open, often in ways entirely unexpected. Life has a way of bringing opportunities, insights, and connections to those who are poised to receive them. The moment the mind says, "I expect abundance now," the law responds, aligning circumstances, events, and people to fulfill that expectancy. Nothing is too difficult for the mind that holds absolute faith and clear expectation. Many people falter because they have faith in the abstract, but they do not cultivate expectancy in the present. They say, "I know I will have money someday," yet they do not act, speak, or feel as if it is already theirs. This divided consciousness creates delay, for the law cannot act on half-hearted thought. Faith must be active, living, and accompanied by a strong inner vision. Expectancy must dominate the mind so completely that doubt cannot enter. As long as you entertain fear, hesitation, or worry, you are blocking the natural flow of prosperity. Faith and expectancy remove every obstacle, clearing the way for the invisible to move with precision, speed, and grace. Faith is strengthened by affirmations. Words spoken with confidence, repeated daily, serve as keys to unlock the invisible treasury of the universe. I am prosperous. I am in perfect alignment with the infinite supply. Everything I need comes to me easily, freely, and abundantly, are not mere statements. They are commands to the law, spoken in the language it understands. The law never questions your ability to receive. It only waits for your thought to be strong, certain, and consistent. By affirming with faith and expectation, you are directing the forces that govern success, and they respond without delay or error. Expectancy also transforms the way you perceive opportunities. The person who truly expects abundance does not see lack or limitation. They see possibilities everywhere. Every person met, every situation encountered, every challenge becomes a potential channel for prosperity. The mind tuned to expectancy recognizes the hand of divine intelligence, arranging events to fulfill its desire. It does not argue with appearances. It does not question circumstances. It simply knows that the invisible law is working tirelessly to bring the desire into tangible expression. This unwavering confidence changes behavior, inspires decisive action, and attracts the exact conditions necessary for success. Faith and expectancy are not dependent on evidence or external validation. They are independent of the temporary conditions of the outer world. Just as the sun shines whether clouds cover it or not, the law of abundance operates regardless of immediate appearances. The inner conviction that what you desire is already yours is stronger than any temporary lack or obstacle. The mind that lives in this state does not see scarcity. It sees opportunity, supply, and the perfect unfolding of events. Doubt cannot coexist with expectancy, and faith is the antidote to fear. Together, they create a magnetic force that draws prosperity from unseen realms into visible reality. It is important to cultivate faith not only in the outcome, but also in the process. Trust that every step, every coincidence, every seemingly random event is part of the perfect arrangement. The law operates through intelligence far beyond human understanding, and every circumstance is placed to fulfill your desire in the most harmonious way. By expecting abundance at every turn, by living in a state of confidence and trust, you align yourself with this intelligence, Nothing can resist the combination of faith, expectancy, and the conscious intention to receive. Expectancy also heightens sensitivity to guidance and inspiration. When the mind is certain that abundance is coming, it becomes alert to the subtle whispers of intuition, the hints of opportunity, and the signs that indicate the path forward. Doors that previously went unnoticed now appear wide open. Ideas flow freely, and solutions to challenges arise effortlessly. The mind in expectancy does not strain, struggle, or worry. It simply acts in alignment with the assurance that everything needed will arrive at the right moment. Faith ensures the mind does not falter when results are not immediately visible, while expectancy maintains the magnetic pull that draws results toward manifestation. Faith and expectancy create an internal harmony that resonates outward. The energy you emit influences every interaction, every decision, and every circumstance. People, opportunities, and resources naturally gravitate toward the one who lives with unwavering belief and confident expectation. The law of supply is impartial, responding not to fear, doubt, or struggle, but to the steady, luminous force of faith aligned with desire. By holding firm to your vision and trusting that the unseen is already orchestrating events on your behalf, you become a living conduit for prosperity. Ultimately, the combination of faith and expectancy transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. What others may consider impossible becomes not only possible, but inevitable. The mind that embraces this principle finds itself in a continuous flow of provision, guidance, and abundance. Every thought, word, and action, when inspired by faith and expectancy, becomes a tool for manifestation. As you cultivate these qualities, you will notice a shift in consciousness. Scarcity gives way to sufficiency, limitation yields to possibility, and hesitation dissolves into decisive confidence. Every word you speak carries a creative power far beyond what the ear can hear or the mind can comprehend. Words are not idle. They are instruments of law, tools of creation, and keys to unlock the unseen forces of the universe. The outer world is a reflection of the inner world, and every statement, whether spoken aloud or silently, sends vibrations into the invisible realm, arranging circumstances to correspond to the content of your speech. Positive words, carefully chosen and repeated with faith, become commands to the law, shaping your circumstances, opening doors, and attracting opportunities. Negative words, on the other hand, act as a magnet for limitation, lack, and discord. Therefore, mastery over the tongue and the thoughts expressed in words is essential for the manifestation of abundance. Affirmations are a practical method to focus the creative power of speech. By repeating statements of truth, health, prosperity, and joy, you are planting seeds in the fertile soil of the invisible mind. These seeds, nurtured by faith, expectancy, and consistency, grow into tangible results. The mind does not distinguish between what is imagined and what is spoken with conviction. It registers every word as a law, every statement as a blueprint for manifestation. When you affirm abundance, success, and good fortune, the unseen forces begin to move in perfect harmony to bring the vision into form. Many people fail to realize that they are constantly issuing creative commands through their words. Casual complaints, expressions of fear, or declarations of lack are all instructions to the invisible law to manifest scarcity and limitation. Conversely, deliberate affirmative speech reshapes your life from the inside out. By declaring, "I am prosperous, I am favored, I am in perfect harmony with the infinite supply," you are not merely wishing or hoping, you are issuing a divine order to the law of manifestation. The universe responds faithfully, arranging people, circumstances, and events to fulfill the spoken word. The power of affirmations is amplified when accompanied by feeling. Words alone have force, but when combined with vivid emotion, they become irresistible. Feel the joy of success, the relief of freedom, the satisfaction of abundance as you speak your affirmations. Emotion is the fuel that drives the law into action. Without it, affirmations may remain idle thoughts. The more alive, vivid, and heartfelt the words, the more quickly the law moves to make them real. A single phrase, repeated with unwavering belief, can change the course of your life, because the universe is always responding to the inner conviction behind the spoken words. Consistency is a vital factor in the use of affirmations. One declaration is a spark, but repeated affirmations build a steady flame that cannot be extinguished by doubt or circumstance. Morning and evening, throughout the day, repeat your statements of prosperity, health, and joy. Let them echo in your mind, and speak them when opportunity presents itself. Each repetition strengthens the blueprint in the invisible realm, making the manifestation of your desire inevitable. Life is not shaped by occasional thoughts or idle wishes. It is sculpted by persistent, deliberate, and affirmative speech that resonates with faith and expectancy. Affirmations also shape your behavior. When you speak words of confidence, courage, and abundance, you naturally begin to act in alignment with those statements. Your decisions become inspired, your actions more effective, and your mind more attuned to opportunities. People are drawn to those who speak positively because they exude the energy of assurance and magnetism. In this way, your words do not merely influence unseen forces, they alter your outer circumstances by changing your demeanor, your choices, and your interactions with the world. The law works both invisibly and visibly, and affirmations are the bridge between the two. It is important to speak in the present tense, for the law responds only to what you declare as real now. I am prosperous carries more force than I will be prosperous. The mind registers the present tense statement as truth, and the invisible law moves to make the declaration visible. Avoid negative statements that describe lack, fear, or limitation, for they bind the law to those conditions. Instead, speak of what you desire as though it already exists. Every word becomes a seed, and the law does not distinguish between a seed of fear and a seed of faith. Nurture only the seeds that will bear fruit of abundance, joy, and success. Affirmations can also transform difficult circumstances. When challenges arise, repeating positive statements redirects your focus from the obstacle to the solution, from lack to supply, from limitation to possibility. The spoken word carries the power to dissolve fear and negativity, replacing them with confidence and clarity. By speaking words of faith, you align yourself with the invisible law, and situations begin to change, sometimes subtly, sometimes dramatically, to reflect the inner truth you declare. The law always obeys, but it must have a clear command, unclouded by doubt, fear, or contradiction. Visualization paired with affirmations magnifies their effect. As you speak words of abundance, see the outcome clearly in your mind's eye. Picture yourself living in prosperity, experiencing the joy and ease that comes with the fulfillment of your desires. Speak the words as if they are already true, and let your imagination breathe life into them. The combination of speech, feeling, and visualization becomes a magnetic force that draws the desired conditions into manifestation. The mind, body, and spirit act in unison, creating a perfect harmony that the law cannot resist. Words are also a reflection of inner belief. If your affirmations feel hollow or insincere, they will not carry the same power. The key is to cultivate faith, conviction, and expectancy as you speak. When the mind, heart, and voice are aligned in harmony, the spoken word becomes an unstoppable instrument of creation. Even ordinary conversations, when seasoned with positivity and hope, influence your circumstances and the world around you. Your daily speech is a river, flowing out into life, shaping events, attracting people, and opening doors. When that river is filled with affirmations and positive declarations, it becomes a conduit for abundance. Affirmations, therefore, are not merely words. They are laws in action. They shape your mind, influence your behavior, attract circumstances, and engage unseen forces. They transform fear into courage, scarcity into abundance, and limitation into opportunity. Every word you speak can either bind you to lack or release you into the infinite flow of prosperity. The more you practice conscious speech, the more natural it becomes, until positive words are not only your habit, but your essence, resonating in every thought, action, and interaction, and shaping the reality you experience. Gratitude is one of the most potent forces in the universe. It is a magnet that draws into your life the very blessings you desire, not by mere chance, but through a law as precise and dependable as the rising of the sun. When you cultivate a heart filled with thankfulness, when you consciously give thanks for the good already present in your life, you are sending a signal to the invisible realm that you are ready to receive more. Gratitude is the key that opens the storehouse of abundance, and it multiplies everything you already possess. It is not merely a polite gesture or a mental habit, it is a spiritual power, a creative energy that acts upon the law of supply, shaping circumstances, drawing opportunities, and transforming your outer world in accordance with your inner appreciation. The mind that dwells in gratitude perceives the world differently. It sees opportunity where others see obstacle, provision where others see lack, and growth where others see limitation. This perspective is not fanciful optimism, but a recognition of the underlying harmony of life. Every person, every situation, every event contains a blessing, even if hidden beneath temporary appearances. When you focus your attention on the good, expressing thanks for the blessings already received, you activate a law that cannot fail. The invisible mind, responding to the vibrations of gratitude, multiplies them, bringing more things, circumstances, and people to reinforce the sense of abundance you already possess. Many fail to appreciate the power of gratitude because they wait for visible results before giving thanks. They say, "I will be thankful when I have achieved my desire," but in doing so, they reverse the law. The law of supply requires that you acknowledge the invisible first, affirm its presence, and rejoice as if it has already manifested. By giving thanks in advance, you create a mental and emotional condition that aligns perfectly with the fulfillment of your desire. The very act of thanking the universe for what is yet unseen sets into motion events that will make your gratitude visible in tangible form. The secret lies in feeling the emotion of gratitude, not simply uttering the words. When your heart is genuinely full of thanks, the universe is compelled to respond, bringing circumstances into harmony with your inner state. Gratitude is also a powerful purifier of thought. Negative emotions such as fear, doubt, envy, and worry cannot survive in an atmosphere of genuine appreciation. By dwelling on what you are thankful for, you replace lack with plenty, limitation with possibility, and despair with hope. The energy of gratitude elevates your consciousness, making you receptive to the flow of abundance. As you continue to express thanks for your life, your work, your relationships, and the small joys that often go unnoticed, the law responds by increasing the supply. The more thankful you are, the more reasons you find to be grateful, and the cycle of blessing expands endlessly. Gratitude transforms your relationship with the invisible forces. The law of prosperity does not operate on wishful thinking alone. It responds to a heart that recognizes and appreciates the unseen help already at work. When you cultivate an attitude of thankfulness, you are effectively signaling, "I am ready to receive more, I recognize the blessings already given, and I rejoice in the abundance of the universe." This declaration is heard not with the physical ear but with the spiritual ear, and it moves mountains of circumstance, arranging life to reflect the abundance acknowledged in your heart. Every expression of gratitude multiplies your good, making the invisible visible. The habit of gratitude also strengthens faith. Faith grows strongest when it is accompanied by a sense of appreciation for what is already present. As you observe the good in your life, no matter how small, and give thanks for it, your trust in the law and in your ability to receive increases. You begin to see the seamless connection between thought, feeling, and manifestation. You recognize that the invisible law is constant, impartial, and responsive to the vibration of appreciation. By practicing gratitude, you are reinforcing your faith and creating a fertile mental and emotional environment for more blessings to appear. It is essential to make gratitude a daily, conscious practice. Morning and evening, reflect on what you are thankful for, not in the abstract but in detail, with vivid feeling. Thank the universe for the money, health, love, opportunities, and even challenges that have strengthened and guided you. By doing this consistently, you are creating a reservoir of positive energy that attracts further good. The law does not ignore repeated recognition of abundance. It magnifies it, often in ways that surpass imagination. Gratitude is a seed that produces fruit not in seasons dictated by time, but according to the perfect timing of the invisible law. Gratitude also transforms your actions and interactions. A thankful person naturally attracts goodwill, cooperation, and support. People are drawn to those who radiate appreciation because gratitude is a vibration that resonates in every encounter. The law works through you as you express thanks. Your outer circumstances begin to reflect your inner attitude. Doors that were closed or opportunities that seemed distant suddenly become accessible, and unexpected blessings flow freely. The more sincerely you give thanks, the more abundant the evidence of your gratitude becomes. Every day, in small and large ways, the universe responds to your heart's recognition of what is already present. Another dimension of gratitude is its power to reconcile seeming lack or adversity. By giving thanks for challenges, recognizing the hidden lessons or unseen assistance, you transmute difficulty into opportunity. Gratitude transforms obstacles into stepping stones and trials into guides. The mind trained in appreciation sees beyond the surface, perceiving the invisible orchestration of life, the perfect unfolding of events designed to bring the highest good. Even before the final result is evident, gratitude positions you in harmony with the law, making the eventual manifestation inevitable. Gratitude multiplies not only tangible blessings, but also intangible qualities such as peace, joy, and confidence. These internal states are just as real and necessary as material abundance, and they set the stage for the continuous flow of prosperity. As you maintain a grateful attitude, your consciousness is uplifted, your thoughts become constructive, and your actions align with the invisible intelligence that governs success. This alignment magnifies every blessing you have, ensuring that the flow of good expands rather than diminishes. Finally, gratitude fosters a conscious recognition of the infinite supply. When you are truly thankful, you recognize that the universe is not limited, that the wellspring of abundance is inexhaustible, and that the more you acknowledge and appreciate, the more flows into your life. Gratitude is the signal, the magnet, and the law in action, producing a continuous, ever-expanding stream of blessings, opportunities, and joyful experiences. Fear and doubt are the heaviest burdens that the mind can carry. They act as invisible chains, holding back the flow of abundance and blocking the channels through which prosperity must pass. Every doubt, every anxious thought, every whisper of fear is a command to the unseen forces to manifest limitation, delay, or frustration. The law of life does not discriminate. It acts according to the vibrations it receives. If the mind is dominated by fear, the results will be fearful. If it is dominated by doubt, hesitation and uncertainty will appear in the outer world. Therefore, the first step toward true abundance and the fulfillment of desire is the conscious release of fear and the dismissal of doubt from the mind. To do so is not merely an act of will, but an alignment with the invisible intelligence that governs life. Letting go of fear begins with understanding its nature. Fear is always a projection into the future, a negative assumption about what may or may not happen. It is a creation of the imagination, and like all things imagined, it can be dismissed by the imagination as well. Replace the mental picture of lack or misfortune with a vivid, affirmative image of success, prosperity, and harmony. The mind that clings to fear is tethered to limitation, but the mind that imagines and expects the fulfillment of desire is liberated and open to the infinite possibilities of the universe. Every fearful thought is a vibration sent outward, calling for circumstances that mirror inner insecurity, and every act of faith is a counter-vibration that draws in blessings and perfect solutions. Doubt is the subtle twin of fear. It creeps in quietly, whispering uncertainty and questioning the ability of the unseen law to provide. Doubt may appear as hesitation in action, as worry about timing, or as lack of confidence in one's own power to receive. It undermines the law's work, because it contradicts the affirmative statements, visualizations, and expectations that the mind has so carefully cultivated. To dissolve doubt, one must replace it with conscious trust, knowing that the universe is always operating in perfect order. The mind that trusts the invisible is like a fertile field, ready to receive the seeds of abundance that will inevitably grow into tangible results. Trust is the antidote to both fear and doubt. It is a conscious recognition that life is guided by a wisdom greater than the individual mind, a divine intelligence that orchestrates every event with precision and care. Trust does not require understanding of the how or the when. It only requires faith that the desired outcome is already in process. The moment you place your confidence in this intelligence, the mind is released from worry, and the body and spirit move in harmony with the unfolding plan. Trust allows the law to operate without interference. When you act in faith and leave the details to the divine, doors open that you could not have imagined, circumstances align perfectly, and opportunities arrive at exactly the right moment. Fear and doubt often arise from attachment to results or from a belief that life is governed by random chance. This is a misunderstanding of the universal law. The law is precise, intelligent, and benevolent, and it never fails to respond to the inner state of consciousness. To cling to fear is to place oneself in opposition to the law. To surrender fear and doubt is to align with the natural flow of life. This alignment is not passive. It is an active, conscious decision to release control, to trust in intelligence beyond the human mind, and to maintain a mental and emotional state of certainty. Every moment that fear or doubt is replaced by trust strengthens the connection to the invisible forces and accelerates the manifestation of desire. The practice of affirmations, visualization, and expectancy is instrumental in releasing fear and doubt. By repeating positive statements, imagining success vividly, and expecting fulfillment, you are creating a mental environment in which fear cannot survive. Negative thoughts are replaced by constructive ones. Hesitation gives way to decisive confidence. Anxiety is transformed into faith. The mind, when focused on positive outcomes and sustained by trust, becomes a powerful magnet for all that is desired. The law responds not to worry or uncertainty, but to clarity, conviction, and the unwavering expectation that life is unfolding in perfect order. It is also important to remember that fear and doubt often disguise themselves as prudence or careful planning. While practical action is necessary, it must be guided by faith and not dominated by anxiety. The mind that operates from fear analyzes, hesitates, and multiplies obstacles, whereas the mind guided by trust observes, acts decisively, and receives inspiration from the unseen realm. Faith does not exclude wisdom, it elevates it, allowing insight to flow freely and decisions to be made with confidence. The absence of fear does not create recklessness. It creates alignment with the perfect intelligence that orchestrates life in harmony with every desire when properly directed. One method to cultivate trust is the conscious repetition of the principle that the universe is always working on your behalf. Each time doubt arises, acknowledge it, and immediately replace it with a statement of faith. The law is working perfectly for me. Every event is bringing me closer to my desire. I am guided and protected by infinite intelligence. Repetition of such statements, combined with the feeling of certainty, transforms the inner vibration and dissolves fear. Gradually, trust becomes second nature, a mental habit that colors every thought, word, and action, establishing a state of alignment that cannot be shaken by temporary appearances. Fear and doubt often cause people to act prematurely, to struggle unnecessarily, or to grasp at partial results. This only delays the manifestation of the full blessing. Trust, in contrast, allows one to act with confidence and leave the outcomes to the divine orchestration. The mind that knows the law is working invisibly can rest in the assurance that nothing is wasted, that every step is perfectly timed, and that every action taken in harmony with faith and expectancy contributes to the ultimate realization of desire. The release of fear and doubt is the doorway to effortless success, for the law always honors a mind that aligns with its principles. Gratitude also reinforces trust. By giving thanks for what is already present and for what is yet unseen, you signal to the law that you are ready to receive. Fear and doubt cannot coexist with genuine appreciation. The heart filled with gratitude is receptive, open, and confident. The mind that practices this daily attains a state of equilibrium in which trust becomes instinctive. This state allows one to observe circumstances without panic, to act without hesitation, and to maintain a steady course toward the fulfillment of desires, knowing that every unseen force is working to bring about the perfect result. Faith, expectancy, affirmation, and gratitude together form a fortress against fear and doubt. As each element is strengthened, the mind becomes increasingly resistant to negativity and increasingly attuned to the invisible flow of life. The more one trusts, the less power fear and doubt have, and the more effortlessly abundance manifests. Every thought replaced by faith, every doubt dissolved by expectancy, every action guided by trust, and every expression of gratitude magnifies the influence of the law, ensuring that life unfolds in perfect harmony with the highest good.